Yeah. No. All I can do is laugh at this point watching this basketball team play. Welcome to the show. Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. This episode of Run It Back Philly is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Don't you ever forget, first impression is everything. If you want your man region to be smoother than the Philadelphia 76ers were in the fourth quarter of this game, go to Manscaped.com. Use the promo code NOINTRO for 20% off. This is the performance package right here. You got the Lawnmower 4.0 skin-safe technology. You can go over all the most sensitive areas of your body with no fear, and it's waterproof, has a light on it. Best damn razor you'll ever use. Got the hedge trimmer. That's a nose hair trimmer, okay? Take care of them long-ass nose hairs, man. What are you guys doing? You're already a Sixers fan watching your basketball team losing. You're going to be walking around out here with nose hair? Come on, man. Go to Manscaped.com. Look, crop preserver, all right? That's ball deodorant. What, you got smelly balls out here? You're already watching the Sixers lose, and you're walking around with smelly balls, man? Come on. And you got the crop reviver. That's ball toner, okay? If it's about to go down, you're about to get lucky after the Sixers lose. Maybe someone's going to make you feel a little bit better later on. Couple of sprays of this. Don't show up unprepared. Manscaped.com. Use the promo code NOINTRO for 20% off and free shipping. Anyone in the Discord who wants to call into the show, put yourself in the call waiting room, and I will get to you when we get to that segment of the show. Channel members in the chat, hit me with those custom emojis, man. Let's go. All right, 150 people in here. Hit the like button, everybody. The Philadelphia 76ers lose. Random gamer. Nobody wants smelly balls after a Sixers loss. Facts, bro. Facts. Seth Rowe, thank you for the custom emojis in the chat. All right, the Philadelphia 76ers lose to the Toronto Raptors without Fred VanVleet, without OG Anunoby. 93-88. Yes, we scored 88 points. 88 points. In a basketball game on a Sunday night with James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris. I mean, of course, our bench is non-existent once again. I'm going to get into all of the things that make it non-existent, including the coach of the team. But you can't have the three players on the caliber of Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and James Harden and score 88 total points in a basketball game. It's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. That's my first takeaway from the game, is that's unbelievable. The first thing I'm going to start with is this, okay? I ranted and raved about Doc Rivers' third quarter lineups last game against the Cavs when we narrowly escaped, and the Cavs are a decent team with a really good defense. The Toronto Raptors are 40-31, but without Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby, they're not even a playoff team, and we just lost to them. Doc Rivers' third quarter lineup, okay? I took the notes, man. Where the hell did I put it? Okay, so he had James Harden out. He does this thing where he runs James Harden solo at the end of the third quarter with a bunch of bench players, okay? He did the same thing he did last game. Danny Green, George Niang, DeAndre Jordan, and somebody else was out there. I forget. But there was no ball handling or shooting outside of, well, they were shooting with George Niang, but there was no ball handling outside of James Harden. Again, I said it last stream. I say it probably every show. All you got to do is double-team James Harden as soon as he crosses the half-court line, make him give up the ball. Nobody else on the floor can dribble in that lineup, okay? Danny Green, George Niang, DeAndre Jordan, Shake Milton was out there for 9 minutes. But what actually blew my mind was that Doc Rivers said, Paul Reed. Yeah, Doc Rivers said, I'm going to give, we're getting out-rebounded by 1 million. The fans are coming at me. Keith Pompey's coming at me in post-game press conferences. Everybody in the whole city of Philadelphia is asking me why I don't play younger, more athletic players. So I'm going to put Paul Reed in the game. So Doc Rivers decides his answer for DeAndre Jordan getting absolutely smoked the entire, all of the bench minutes. 11 minutes for DeAndre Jordan. Just horrendous. Can't rebound. Can't defend a fly. Can't do anything. DeAndre Jordan can't do anything. I was totally wrong about the signing with DeAndre Jordan. He can't do anything. Doc Rivers' solution to that was to put Paul Reed on the floor with DeAndre Jordan. His solution to that was to put Paul Reed on the floor with DeAndre Jordan. So James Harden's out here running with Danny Green, George Niang, Paul Reed, and DeAndre Jordan. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Paul Reed grabs 2 rebounds in 2 minutes and gets taken out of the game. What? Nobody can rebound the entire game. Paul Reed gets 2 rebounds in 2 freaking minutes, and Doc takes his ass out and leaves DeAndre Jordan in there. What is this guy doing? This dude got to be drunk or something. This stuff doesn't make sense. What is his obsession with 90-year-old players that can't do anything? Like I said, I'll take Miles Powell out of the G League off the bench just to have a ball handler on the floor. You have to play somebody. You have to. You cannot run Danny Green, George Niang, Paul Reed, and DeAndre Jordan. You can't do it. You can't. I don't want to scream this whole stream, but that's an unbelievable lineup. That's an unbelievable lineup. You can construct a better lineup by putting any two-way players or G League players or anything you can do, anything you can find. You can construct a better lineup than that. That's unreal. That's unreal. That's unreal. That's unreal. Should I even put the damn highlights on the screen? Dude, do you guys even want to see them? Oh my goodness. That's unbelievable. That is. That Doc Rivers is blowing my mind. He's blowing my mind. We were out rebounded. I didn't look at the total number of that we were out rebounded. We were out rebounded by a lot, but the main thing is the offensive rebounds, okay? The Toronto Raptors had 12 offensive rebounds at halftime. Now, we knew, and as we know, we're going to have trouble with teams like this. Young, athletic teams. A lot of athletes on this floor. Paskal Siakam, Precious Achiuwa, Scottie Barnes. So many athletes that can run and jump and defend. So we know we're going to struggle with teams like this. It's not going to be pretty. But we should come away with the victory against teams like this because they don't have any scoring talent. Siakam was getting to the rim on us most of the game, but they don't have any actual superstar talent on the floor, and we do. So there's no excuse to lose a game like this. If it went down to the wire and we pulled it out by 5 points, pulled it out by 2 or 3 points, whatever, it would have been annoying. It would have been like, it was ugly, but they have a lot of athleticism, they have a lot of young talent, and we don't. But to actually lose is crazy. The Raptors had 12 rebounds, 12 offensive rebounds in the first half. They had 18 offensive rebounds midway through the fourth. I didn't look at the total number yet. 18 offensive rebounds midway through the fourth. I mean, what? The thing is, the same thing has happened the past couple of games. So what is going through Doc Rivers' mind for him to say, you know what? I'm going to run the same thing. I guess we have to go James Harden here, don't we? Because I think everybody's still overreacting a little bit to James Harden. Last game, James had a little bit of a fourth quarter surge against the Cavs where he scored 10 points in the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. He had some shots fall. Tonight, James Harden did not have any shots fall. Joel Embiid didn't have any shots fall. So, you like I said, it would have been nice to get an ugly victory here. It was one of those nights where nothing was going in. I think Joel Embiid had more in and out shots than I've ever seen happen to one player in an NBA game. Like toilet bowl around the rim, off the backboard, back into the roll around the rim and out, like things like that. So it's one of those games where there was just a little in the basket, but James Harden being 0 for 4 from 3, not good. And then to end the game, you need a bucket. You're down 2. And I liked Harden's explosiveness on one of those final drives. He says, I got to get a bucket. He takes the ball to the rim hard, blows by his defender, just misses a layup. That sucks. It would have been nice to make that. But the final play, I guess it wasn't technically the final play, but the offensive foul that they called a flagrant was unreal. It really was. Harden drives. What were we, down 2 with 30 seconds left? Gets called for an offensive foul for putting the elbow out there. Seth Rowe, thank you for the super chat. Gets called for an offensive foul for throwing his right elbow out. When I saw the replay, I said to myself the same thing I said about Tobias Harris the other night twice. First with what's his name, Dwight Powell's nutsack in his way, nutsack defense, just put your nutsack in the way and it's an offensive foul. And just put your face in the way, it's an offensive foul. What I'm saying is, it's not hard to understand, and I don't understand how NBA officials don't understand this. If you impede the offensive player's path to the basket with any body part, chest, hips, leg, nutsack, face, it's still a defensive foul. If you put your face in the way of a player going up to the rim, it's still a defensive foul. But for some reason, the NBA is fixated on, I don't know what, calling that an offensive foul. But what actually blows my mind is them reviewing the play, assessing a flagrant to James Harden, and ending the game. Because now you just gave the Raptors 2 shots and possession of the ball when we were down 2. And that's just it. That's just it. I can't believe the officials made that call after a review. But 2 turnovers late. Precious Achiuwa running out. We got beat in transition defense. There's another turnover right there, Scottie Barnes. We got beat transition. We got beat on the offensive glass. It's bad. And, what can you really see this team doing in the playoffs when this is what they look like against the Toronto Raptors team with not really any superstar talent on the floor? You know what I mean? Doc's got to go, man. Doc has to go, man. Seth, where'd your super chat go? Glenn Rivers still working for the Boston Celtics. I'm at a loss for words with Doc Rivers, man. I'm really at a loss for words with Doc Rivers. I'm at a loss for words right now with Doc Rivers. I really am. We had a 37-point first quarter. George Mans, thank you for that. And we had a 34-point second half. I just don't understand. It's really, to me, like I know, you guys come up with all the reasons you want or give your input on all the reasons you want for us to lose a game like this. But for me, it's the third quarter. It's Doc just does these. He has these death lineups at the end of the third quarter into the fourth, and we get smoked every time. We get absolutely smoked. We get absolutely destroyed in the third quarter every single time he does this death lineup in the third quarter. And I was just blown away that he decided to fix the death lineup by putting Tobias Harris in place of Paul Reed, who was the only player out there getting rebounds. In 2 minutes, he got 2 rebounds. 2 minutes, 2 rebounds. Takes him out for Tobias Harris. What's he going to do against this athletic team? This ain't rocket science, Doc. You got to fight fire with fire. Athletic team, you got to play athletes. Where's Charles Bassey? Where's Paul Reed? Doesn't make sense. I mean, you know exactly what's going to happen. You're playing old, slow players against young, quick athletes. And you just continue to do it. I don't get it. I didn't see his press conference, but I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to listen to it because I know Keith and a couple other media members are going to ask him the same questions they asked him the last time, which is, what do these players have to do to get minutes? What exactly is standing out to Doc Rivers What exactly about DeAndre Jordan is telling Doc Rivers, I have to play him? Max, I agree. Bring Miles Powell up. He can score more than Danny Green. That's what I'm saying. When we were in those COVID games where we were calling guys up, Embiid was out with COVID, the whole squad was out. Miles Powell was driving to the rim and finishing over dudes. I mean, there's players. Who the hell was the guy in the fourth quarter for the Raptors that scored some points on us, man? Armani Brooks? Who the is Armani Brooks? But that's my point. You know, if they would just play other players, maybe we would get into a situation where another team would say, who the is Miles Powell? These are NBA players that can play basketball, but they're not trying anything else. How many minutes in the chat right now? In the chat right now, how many minutes would Armani Brooks have on a Doc Rivers basketball team? Armani Brooks is on his second 10-day contract. Daniel says 3? There's no way. There's no way. There's not a single way Armani Brooks would even sniff the floor in a Doc. Why are you guys even saying minutes? Why are you putting a 1? Somebody put 18? How does that make any sense? He won't even play Paul Reed. He would get 0 minutes, man. Doc just doesn't want to look at young athletes, young basketball players and say, let me give nobody's helping us on the bench. Let me try something else. What is, I don't understand why he just keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again. I don't. All right, but listen, I took notes the whole game, so let's go through them, man. I think Thibault, we gotta take some positives away from the game. Matisse Thibault scored 8 points in the first 3 minutes of the game, hit back-to-back threes. Nice cut, and James Harden throws a nice no-look dime to him. I think Matisse Thybulle slowly just growing, getting where you fit in, just really learning where to cut, when to cut, being an elite cutter because he's not usually a threat to shoot. In this game, he hit 2 in the first quarter, but I'm liking Matisse Thybulle cutting to the rim. I'm liking James Harden finding him. I did think Harden was more aggressive in this game than he's been recently, in at least in the first half. I'm not sure what the hell happened in the second half, but Harden was attacking the basket early. He looked energized. He looked like he had, a good 8 hours of sleep. He looked like he wasn't hanging out with Lil Baby and Lil Glue Stick in a strip club last night. Maybe he was in bed at 9 o'clock actually resting up for an NBA game, but it all fell off after the first half. Tyrese Maxey also, man, he was rolling in the first quarter. Why were we so hot in the first quarter and completely fall off? Maxey hits a wide open corner 3. I just, it's Tyrese Maxey's getting to the point where when he's wide open, it doesn't seem like he's going to miss it. And he had a dunk, then he had a nice little floater. Raptors going a run led by Siakam. Joel Embiid on a steal, runs a full court point Joel Embiid and drops it off to old-ass Danny Green, who barely makes a layup because he got about a half inch off the ground. Ala Adenabi's making a joke about it, like, once he's warmed up, he'll dunk the ball, but he's going to do a layup. Yeah, we're so tired of watching Danny Green, man. Come on, man. Why are we playing guys that can't jump? Why are we playing a guy so old that he can't even hardly make a wide-open fast break layup? I mean, it looked like he looked like he was in pain trying to put that thing in the rim. Shake Milton made a play in the first half, in the first quarter. Shake Milton got minutes, which was interesting for Doc to go with Shake Milton in the first quarter. But he had the play where he, little pump fake in the corner, drives baseline, throws the assist to, I don't remember, Tobias Harris or somebody on the other side. It was nice to see a ball handler make a play outside of James Harden and Tyrese Maxey. It's just going to be the downfall of this team, that those two guys in the starting lineup are the only ball handlers on the entire roster. I went from 2019 saying there's no ball handlers on the entire roster, and now we have 2, but that's still not enough because they're in the starting lineup. So when one of those guys are on the floor, all they got to do is bring a rush double team and force you to give the ball to somebody else, and there's no other creator on the floor. So it's frustrating. George Niang was still hot shooting in the second quarter. That's when we started to get beat in transition on the rebounds. Harden hits Maxey again, or Matisse again on a nice cut. Maxey has the tough and one finish, and he's flexing. Maxey's so nice, man. Let's have a positive here. Let's have a positive moment here. Tyrese Maxey is going to be an absolute superstar in the future of his career, man. He's going to be a superstar. He is. The first half was nice. The second half was atrocious. Achua hit back-to-back wide-open threes in the second quarter. Joel Embiid had a terrible shooting night, like I said. He had a terrible shooting night. There was a lid on the rim the whole time. In and out shots all over the place. Just one of those nights. But the up and under reverse layup that he made was like Michael Jordan-esque. It really was. For a 7-foot center, to make an up and under layup like that actually doesn't make any sense. And down the stretch, Joel Embiid comes up with a huge block when we were down 3. No super advanced analytics there, just a great defensive play. No, highest adjusted box plus minus defensive PER something or other mathematic equation. Just your two eyes looking at the TV screen saying Joel Embiid's an amazing defender. Scottie Barnes gets an offensive weak side rebound in the second quarter. This is probably where it started to go downhill, to be honest with you. Aaron Cabbage, thank you for the super chat, my guy. Aaron Cabbage, MVP of the show. Shout out to Bravo Carlos, by the way, for being the monthly MVP so far. We give up an offensive rebound to Scottie Barnes to end the half. And that's where it started to go downhill. We got out-rebounded 29-19 in the first half. And the Raptors had 12 offensive rebounds. Now let me look at the total rebound number here. Where we got it. Okay, so rebounds, the Toronto Raptors had 56. The Philadelphia 76ers had 40. So we get out-rebounded 56-40. Do you guys really want me to say this number right here? You guys really want me to say this number right here? The Toronto Raptors had 20 offensive rebounds. 20. They had 20 second chance rebounds. Hey, you can't win a game giving up 20 offensive rebounds. Which is what I'm saying. Where is the change? Where is the trying something else? You can't win a game giving up 20 offensive rebounds. And on our side of the ball, we had 5. We had 5 offensive rebounds. Anybody slandering Joel Embiid, listen. Joel Embiid does so much for this team. Every single minute he's on the floor. Do you know what it's like to try to be a defensive anchor and an offensive anchor for a basketball team at 7 feet tall, 280 pounds with, not the best endurance level in the world? He's a giant of a person. He has to manage himself throughout the game to make sure he has enough gas in the tank to put this team on his shoulders and drag them across the finish line. So I can't slander Joel Embiid for any of that. Aaron Cabbage, man, thank you for the super chat. We have a third ball handler. His name is Shake Milton. He makes good plays every time he's out there, but for some reason, Doc banishes him to the shadow realm, brought Danny Bricks in instead. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Shake Milton's been good, But I agree, and I said that last game when they ran that lineup of Harden, Danny Green, George Niang, Matisse Thybulle, and DeAndre Jordan. I said, you at least have to put Shake Milton on the floor in that situation. You at least have to have another ball handler out there. If Shake is your only option, put him out there. Isaiah Joe can handle the ball. Doc Rivers doesn't think so, but he can. Pope Platinum Beat says, Shake is long gone. Pope, thank you for the super chat. Shake is long gone. It's Malik Milton now. Yeah, this is getting repetitive, 350 people in here. Thank you for that. Hit the like button on the stream. We're going to get through this pain and agony together. Let's see what we got. The third quarter, James Harden hits a mid-range jumper. I like that. We're saying all the time his game is looking very two-dimensional. He either shoots the air quotes, pitter-patter, step-back three, which, by the way, right when I turned the broadcast on, Kate Scott with the pitter-patter, I thought I told you to stop saying that. Why didn't anybody spread the word? Why didn't anybody forward the message? Stop saying pitter-patter. I can't handle it. I want to bash my face off the wall. That is the worst thing I've ever heard when you're talking about something that I'm watching on TV. Stop saying pitter-patter. Anyway, James hits a mid-range jumper. I like that. The 76ers had one field goal in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. So, we end the second quarter giving up big-time offensive rebounds for second chance points, and then we start the third quarter with one field goal in the first 4 minutes. We were down 3 to the Raptors. I thought being down 3 at any point in the game was horrendous because we should have just won this game by 15. Tyrese Maxey has another ridiculous up and under finish with the left hand. He's really becoming an elite finisher around the rim. When you look at the best finishers around the rim in the entire NBA, you can put Tyrese Maxey up there. You really can. I'm talking Kyrie Irving. Probably you could probably put a bunch of players up there, but Maxey's impressing me. Then he comes down and just pulls a 3 in transition, and we go on a 7-0 run in the third quarter. And it looks like, okay, it's ugly, but we're going to get it together, right? That's when Doc Rivers decides, okay, I'm going to give everybody what they want. I'm going to put Paul Reed in the game. But he puts Paul Reed in the game at power forward next to DeAndre Jordan, which makes no sense to me. None. Makes no sense to me. I don't understand. The third quarter lineup of James Harden, Danny Green, George Niang, Paul Reed, and DeAndre Jordan is absolutely unacceptable from Doc Rivers. Unacceptable from Doc Rivers. Aaron Cabbage, thank you for the super chat again, my man. Kate said, bang, bang, George Niang, and my roommate turned to me and said, I hate that quote almost as much as that horrible lineup Doc just put out. It is what it is with the broadcasting team, man. Honestly, Kate tries. Ala Adenabi is terrible. That guy is just brutal to listen to. He really is. So Doc then replaces Paul Reed with Tobias Harris. And we immediately get beat in transition twice. So we get destroyed with his third quarter lineup by young athletes. And Doc Rivers' solution to that is to replace the most athletic player on the floor with Tobias Harris, and we immediately get beaten transition twice. What is going on here? The fans start booing. I mean, wouldn't you have been? Was anybody in the chat here at the game? Were you booing? You should have been booing because this is embarrassing. And I also wonder this. Why does Tyrese Maxey get like a 10-minute break from the end of the third to when the fourth quarter starts? Like, where is Tyrese Maxey that entire time? I don't understand. James Harden's out there, the end of the third, into the fourth, and then James goes to the bench from like 8 minutes to 4 minutes left. Tyrese Maxey, for some reason, the 21-year-old who can probably play 24 hours straight of basketball, is on the bench that entire time. Why? I don't understand that. So Joel Embiid tries to put the team on his back, of course, like he always does. Strong and one finish. Armani Brooks hits a big three. Joel Embiid gives you a massive block with 37 seconds left. And then he has the big turnover, down by 3 with 23 seconds left, and that was 100% on Tobias Harris. First of all, it's 100% on us having Joel Embiid outside the three-point line the entire game. Again, there wasn't a whole lot of, under-the-basket strong post dominance from Joel in this game. But down 3 with 23 seconds left, if Joel catches that ball and is open and shoots it and ties the game, we're all cheering right now. But he wasn't open. The Raptors play good perimeter defense, and we get Tobias Harris trying to pass the ball to Joel Embiid outside the three-point line, and it gets stolen. And then James Harden tries to drive to the basket, gets called for the offensive foul. The refs review it and call it a flagrant, even though he was going up to the rim to try to score. That just blows my mind, and that ended the game. I don't know what else to say, man. There you have it. I'm just absolutely shocked that we actually lost this game to the Toronto Raptors without Van Vliet, without Anunoby, man. Got a couple people in the Discord voice chat, man. Let's go over there, man. Oh, I gotta put myself in the on air, don't I? Ryan Tott in the Discord voice chat, man. Ryan Tott, what's going on? Oh, I need to put this up. Ryan Tott, what's going on, man?
Hello. Am I good?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Pretty good, man. You want me to go with my take?
Yeah, man. Give me your take, man. What's up?
You pretty much mentioned most of it, but like I'd say like something I want to emphasize on was the energy from the team. Like I remember you said something the first quarter, which I agree on, where like the energy was there. Matisse was hitting his threes, and Harden was aggressive, right? Because like I only become a Sixers fan because Harden's my favorite player, and okay. I'm mainly focused on him. I was like, oh, he's aggressive today. And then when it came to like I guess the second half or fourth quarter, it like I just felt the energy die down. I don't know if you agree with me. It's just like the energy just died down. The offense was just like very like still. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And yeah, it's pretty much it. And like something that caught me off guard was when Paul Reed was put into the game. I was like, hey, and then he got taken out. I was like, oh, stuff like that. You mentioned it, but like. I'm pretty sure energy was. I feel like energy was a big part in like this win. Especially, I didn't even expect. You see all these Instagram comments were like, "Oh, rest Harden today, rest Embiid today, because we got a even bigger game tomorrow." But nah, they played both of them, and I don't know. It was just embarrassing. And one more thing I saw was like earlier today before the game, I saw an Instagram comment saying like, "I miss when NBA games ended with points less than 100," and I was like, "You tripping? Like why would you want that?" And look what happened today. This was just a bad game.
Yeah, hey, I agree with everything you said, man. Thanks for the call. I think like this team, it seems like everything, all the plans go out the window. It feels like all the plans go out the window in the third and the fourth quarter. I like a lot of action in the first quarter. A lot of James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and roll. A lot of Tyrese Maxey Matisse Thybulle cutting to the basket, backdoor weak side, whatever. A lot of no look passes. A lot of just a lot of dynamic plays and a lot of action going on, a lot of Tyrese Maxey playing off of James Harden. There's so many things happening in the first quarter or so. And then, in the third and the fourth, it turns into all of that is gone. I would like to have counted how many times we ran a pick and roll in the third and fourth quarter. Like, how it just seems there's nothing there. It's just ISO ball toward the end of the game. Why is that? Why does that become our plan in the third and the fourth quarter? I don't understand. It's just James Harden ISO or Joel Embiid ISO. And when a defense stops that, you end up with Tobias Harris trying to pass the ball to Joel Embiid outside the 3-point line. I don't know. Is it Doc Rivers? Is it the players? Is it what is it? What is it, man? What is it? VR Heem, what's going on, man?
Yo, DJ, what's going on?
What's up?
So I feel like I say this like every day, basically every game I watch. But before I even get on that, I do want to say this game really proved how much, as of right now, we rely on Joel Embiid, because this was like one of Joel Embiid's worst games in like the past couple of months, because like nothing was going in, and even then he still had 21 points. But I just wanted to say, Doc Rivers, like, and I say this like basically every day, but Doc Rivers just, I think he like has dementia. Like I really am starting to think he has a mental like problem, because there's no way one game we and he says it in the press conference. He's like, oh, we got lazy here, or we need more energy at certain points, and we need to run a more pick and roll. And then we go into the game, the first quarter, we're playing well, we're running pick and roll with Joel and James Harden, and we're good. And then he just goes away from it for the rest of the game. Like, it just never comes back. I probably can count on my one hand how many times we ran pick and roll in the second half. Like, it was just so bad. And I also want to say, like, I was watching some G League games because I was like, I heard that Charles Bassey, like, not too long ago, dropped a lot of points in one of the G League games. And I was watching, and I really honestly think that Charles Bassey is 10 times better than DeAndre Jordan. And I was one of the people who were saying that is like DeAndre Jordan was a good pickup, and honestly was like why I heard people were saying like he was like, we shouldn't even pick them up. It was no point. And I'm honestly starting to agree with it now, because there's no way that you're out there for 11 minutes, you get 2 rebounds. Paul Reed comes in for 2 minutes and still gets the same amount of rebounds as you. Like, that can't happen. That literally can't happen. You're almost 7 foot. You're big. Like, you got to get more rebounds than that. And I, once again, want to just say it just goes back to Doc Rivers. And honestly, the downfall of this team, like I say, basically every game is going to be Doc Rivers. And that's basically it. I have a couple more points, but at this point, I just feel like I'm saying the same thing every day, and it's so sad.
I am too. A lot of times I'm like, damn, I got to do a post-game show and say the same stuff, but I think us collectively, we all want to say the same things because we're seeing the same things. So, that's here we are saying the same things, but it just doesn't make sense. When does he make adjustments? And the funny part is, this is what happened in LA. This is why he got fired. These exact things.
And I also wanted to ask you this, because I'm gonna say this, like, I've been watching basketball. I'm 17, so I've been watching basketball for like actually watching basketball for like a good 5 years. Like I really started to watch once we got, like, I think it was when we drafted Ben Simmons, or like a year after we drafted Ben Simmons. But I really don't understand it. Like, if I can sit here at 17, only watching basketball for 5 years, and be like, what are we doing wrong? And notice what we're doing wrong, like why Doc Rivers can't do it. And I've been trying to figure it out. And I'm asking you, like, what do you think it is? Like actually, like, what do you think it is that he's just not changing anything?
It's just his stubbornness. It's an old coach that he really has one of the biggest egos I've ever seen from a coach. The way that he responds to reporters blows my mind. And if you watch coaches like Tom Thibodeau and other like old stubborn guys, they're the same way. The problem is these coaches get on such a pedestal, they overcomplicate the hell out of a very simple game. It's a 5-on-5 basketball game. That's all. It's very simple. It really is. But he thinks he's a genius, and he thinks he knows more than everybody else. So he's not looking at the obvious. He's not even seeing it. He's saying, no, I'm not going to try that. Like, what I'm doing is the best option here. I know this because I've coached for this many years, and I have a championship, and me. That's what it is. It's ego, it's stubbornness, and it's going to get him fired. That's really what it is.
So what, like going into the offseason, what do you think, like, honestly, if he does get fired, which if we don't get a championship, but if he does get fired, like, what do you think our next move? Because I honestly don't, unless we move up like Sam Cassell or something, I don't see who else we would pick up.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Cassell's perfect. Sam Cassell's absolutely perfect. A guard that played basketball within the last 20 years, first of all, I'll take that. You know, these guys like Doc and Greg Popovich they're so out of touch with the game in general right now because they played probably when there wasn't even a three-point line on the floor. Like, I just need somebody. I need somebody younger that's more connected to today's game. So, you know, I'll take Sam Cassell. I think Dan Burke's a good coach. I think Dave Yeager's probably anybody's better than Doc Rivers at this point, to be honest. Anybody on that staff. I'll take anybody on that staff ahead of Doc Rivers at this point.
And one more thing. So do you think the reason that he's not changing anything, like, because you said it's his ego, but you're telling me, like, none of them are like, you know, Doc, like, I understand you're the big boss here, but, like, we need to change certain things up. Like, you're like, it's no way somebody there, unless it's like a situation what happened with Ben Simmons where nobody just told him to stop bitching and just step up. But it's like what, like, there has to be somebody there who's talked to him or pulled him aside and be like, okay, like, we got to change certain things up. You know what I mean? Or is it you just think that's just an ego thing again?
No, that's a good question, man, because you would think that it would get to the point where, you know, other coaches would be like, yo, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what's this guy doing? You know what I mean? Or maybe they discuss it amongst themselves and they don't say it to him because he's the head coach. I really don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is that Daryl Morey is a smart basketball mind, and Daryl Morey is also like a casual NBA fan at the same time. Like, I don't mean casual like he doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean like a laid back would sit in the front row and watch a game, knows what he's like. He sees it on a simple level like we do, and he knows exactly what he sees. All of this. Daryl Morey's saying exactly what we're saying right now. I don't think Doc Rivers makes it past this offseason. I really don't.
Okay, appreciate it, man. Have a nice time.
Thank you. And for anybody in the chat saying we're overreacting, again, look, we're analyzing a basketball team. You know, people are always going to bring up, well, ever since we're 8-2 with Harden on the squad, or we're 9-3. How can you know, why are you being so negative when like, watch the game. Watch the games, guys. Watch the game. Yeah, if you just look at the record or you look at the box score or you look at whatever else, you can draw any conclusion you want. We're watching the game. We're watching everything that happens throughout the course of the game. And Doc Rivers is doing the same things that he did in LA that got him fired, and it's going to get him fired here. And it sucks because we're wasting time. And it sucks because we fired, you know, not that I care that we fired Brett Brown. I was happy we fired Brett Brown, but we thought we were getting a coach that was going to do something, you know, more. And he's not really doing a whole lot more than Brett Brown. Yashix on the Discord. Yashix, what's going on?
Hello?
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? It's my first time on the show.
Hey, thanks for jumping in, man. Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna be a different guy. I'm calling in from Toronto.
Oh, you're a Raptors fan?
Oh, well, by virtue of just being in Toronto, you have to be, right?
I mean, yeah, you don't have to be. I mean, there's Dallas Cowboys fans in Philly. I don't know how they do it, but.
Oh, well, yeah, well, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, I mean, Kyle Lowry is a Philly guy, you know, so we always got our roots in Philly, like whether we like it or not.
That's
being
true.
From Toronto. Greatest Raptor of all time.
What you got for me, man? What's your different take?
So, as a Raptors fan, right? I was actually talking to some guy in the chat while I was waiting, and I was just having this like mini convo, but our team is not good enough that we should be beating the Philadelphia 76ers.
I like that. I like that you're a Raptors fan, but you're understanding.
I'm being very
that,
objective about this too. Yeah, I'm being honest. Like, we should not be beating Philly like the way that we did, because I saw the first quarter of this game. I'm like, it's a wrap. Like, Philly's just rolling all over us.
Yeah.
when Philly clicks, they got like that momentum thing that like Harden does this too, right? Where like he can like Harden and I mean obviously Embiid can carry a game on his own too, but Harden does this thing where he's like sliding and moving around, passing the ball, doing all this like high energy kind of stuff, and then like kind of it's kind of sad because Doc Rivers is like the worst coach for someone like Harden because it's like very similar to what's that Mike D'Antoni in Houston, right? Where it's kind of like lackadaisical, like, oh, just do your thing. Like, I trust you guys to do it, but there's no real like stamp that you're putting on the game to like really impact it. When you're starting to like when you're cutting it, like Precious Achiuwa shot 1 3 in his entire career last season, and he's shooting 36% now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless, he's not a good 3-point shooter. Like I've seen him brick tons of 3-point shooters, but when he hit 2 threes back to back, I'm like, how's that even possible? Like, you know, the biggest issue
wide open.
Philly,
They were wide open off of turnovers, but yeah, I mean, you know.
Oh yeah, well, Toronto's really good at like kind of picking the pocket out of players. Like the last play of the game is like really emblematic of like why like Toronto's even in half the games that they're in is because like they have active hands.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've. I mean, they're like I said, like the first quarter is the Sixers beating them with talent, and the second half was the Toronto Raptors beating the Sixers with hustle, athleticism, rebounding. Like not better basketball talent, but just faster, quicker, can jump higher, active hands, steals, turnovers, fast breaks. I mean, you know, they out hustled the hell out of us, and that's what happens to this Sixers team all the time. So.
And like Gary Trent Jr. like did not play a good game. Like Scottie Barnes bricked 2 free throws at the very end to like clinch the game. Like, you know, this game is a very winnable game for Philly. And down the stretch, they kind of just did the stereotypical Harden / Doc Rivers thing where it's like we don't know how to close games sometimes.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's tough to watch because I'm rooting for Philly. You know, I as a Raptors fan, like I know our team's not gonna. We don't have the best player in any series.
Right.
No,
mm-hmm.
We don't.
Right.
So like you guys like Philly. I want to see Philly win more than. Well, the East is kind of stacked this year. Like at one point, I thought Chicago. I'm rooting for all the top 4 teams in the NBA except the Celtics. For some reason,
you're basically a Sixers fan. You hate the Celtics.
But,
that makes you a Sixers fan. You hate the Celtics.
Yeah, because Celtics fans are honestly the worst about their team. Like, oh my god, like they get stupid arrogant. But I mean, Toronto fans are just kind of happy like that we have a team sometimes. So it's fun to watch. But like, you saw the way we lost against the Lakers, right?
No, I did not. I did not.
You saw Westbrook. Okay, well, Westbrook hit that like game winner. Like, you know, like we can throw games super quick. Like we're not a very good team. But I guess, yeah, it all comes down to the hustle, you know? Like
it all does, yep.
I don't know. Absolutely. Are you scared that the Celtics are coming in on Philly, though, right now?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness, man. They smoked us last time we played them. Their defensive philosophy they got Daniel Tice back, which, you know, I make fun of him all the time, but at the end of the day, he's a good interior defender. Who's the other big? There's 2 other big guys down there.
Those
3 together they give Embiid problems, but we didn't have Harden last time we played them. But as you can see in this game, Harden didn't make much of a difference anyway. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, I really like. I want to see Harden get his ring, but he's just he gets in and out of games like just on his mood so quickly. Like he's tarnishing his reputation in a way, kind of like what Westbrook is doing this year, right? Like all the trades and just asking for too much, but. He's such a talent, right? Like he's so freaking gifted. Like, and Embiid is like he's the MVP this year, I think, right? Like, I don't think Jokic is.
Yeah, I don't think Doc Rivers is like Harden's trying to fit on a brand new team, and I get that, and he's being too passive. He's missing a lot of shots, but I don't think putting him out there with a bunch of guys that can't play in the end of the third quarter is helping him out at all. Like, what's he supposed to do with George Niang, Danny Green, DeAndre Jordan, and Paul Reed on the floor? All together. Like, what's he supposed to do? It doesn't make sense. So it's an easy double team and then nothing, man. But hey, I got to get to some other callers, man. I appreciate you being a Raptors fan and calling in, man. Very level-headed fan. I like it.
I'm rooting for Philly though. At the end of the day, too. You know.
All right, man.
Let's see him make some changes.
All right, thanks. Thank you, man. What a guy. Shout out to Yashix, man. Calling from Toronto Raptors fan, but but understands that the Raptors probably aren't a contender this season, and would like to see the Sixers be one of the teams that come out of the East. So, gave us some input on what he thinks. What do you think, man? SG Blockchain in the Discord. What's going on, SG?
Blockchain. SG.
Yo, how you doing? Can you hear me?
What's up, man? Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. So, man, I think you tried to get me in last stream or something like that, and I couldn't get in. You couldn't hear me. But I'm glad you got me in today. I just want to let you know that I am ready. I'm here for your Fire Doc Rivers podcast. I'm ready for
it's on the way, man. If this stuff happens it starts happening in the playoffs, I'm not giving them another season. I'm Fire Doc Rivers already. I know it's a second season. I was on the verge with all of the defending Ben Simmons to the media crap that he did all last season. So now I'm really getting there. Anyway, continue, man.
Okay. All right. So, number one, we got a Fire Doc Rivers. Number two, Tobias Harris. I feel like at the end of the day, this is what when I'm watching the court, I see Harden starting off fast. I see Tyrese Maxey. He's getting his points. Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid, so he's always going to eat. And it just seems like Harden trying to feed Tobias, and he's taking more shots and he's doinking it, doink, 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 right off the rim. And it's like he literally is slowing down the entire team. I'm tired. I think his contract is literally got people in practice looking at him like, damn, how is this guy making 20 mil a year or 40 mil a year? How much he's up to? But it doesn't matter. I'm tired of Tobias. Doc got this weak coach mentality. But I also want to highlight one part here that I feel like is very crucial to the season of Sixers.
Yeah.
That time when Doc Rivers went out with COVID and we went on a 5-game winning streak and we saw Charlie Brown for the first time and we started seeing lineups. We was accusing, we looked at it like it's COVID. It's COVID. No, we have a different coach. Dan Burks came in and he literally showed us what the Sixers could look like if we had a real coach.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure Dan Burke only
outside of entitlement.
I'm pretty sure Dan Burke only coached 2 games, but and then the Charlie Brown stuff you're talking about is when our roster was depleted when a bunch of guys were out with COVID. But either way, it was nice to see just a hustler on the floor, just a young hustler that was gonna give 100% every play. But the 2 games that Dan Burke coached, I remember Isaiah Joe had 18 points in one game and 11 points in the next.
Right.
And you never saw him again.
And we deserve this. We deserve it. Hold on. And I got one more thing before you have to take me off the line. This Harden fan, I got to get at him real quick. First of all, you was just a Nets fan. Stop listening to my man DJ Eastwood. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You're not a real fan. Not a real Sixers fan. You're a Harden fan. And Harden scares me, though. I ain't gonna cap. Harden scares me. He looking like he ready to fold up.
Yeah, he's not giving us that, he's not giving us that. He's obviously not giving us that 2018 James Harden where he's going to give you 45-point triple-double. He's just not even close to that right now. He looks a step slow. He looks a lot at mercy of the defense, where throughout his career the defense was at his mercy, where they couldn't do anything to contain him. I just wanted like a B version of that, but I don't even feel like we're getting that right now.
Man, he throws his elbow out. He's always flailing, and the funny part about this that you're saying, like 2018 Harden, he's kind of giving me the Harden he's always been vibes. Like when it really, really counts, when you really need him to count on to come through, he's not. He looks a little suspect. He gives you suspectual.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, obviously you had to get rid of Ben Simmons. Harden's on the end of a contract. He says he's going to re-sign, but you gave up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. Drummond was going to leave. Seth Curry's a journeyman who's not going to save anybody's franchise either. So really, you ended the Ben Simmons problem and took a chance on, does James Harden still have anything left in the tank? So if he doesn't, then you just don't re-sign him. Then you just go a different route. So, I mean, but I still feel like even if Harden lets us down, that's still the best option you had in the Ben Simmons situation.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate you taking my call.
Yeah, man.
I disagree with you.
Go ahead.
I hope that I'm wrong, though. I hope I'm wrong. I hope. And yeah, that's it, man.
I mean, what do you mean you disagree with me? So if Harden is not like, if Harden lets us down, we're screwed forever, or that wasn't the best option. If
doesn't work out, we're in trouble.
I agree with that.
We're in trouble, man.
Do you think they should have? Do you think there was a different option?
Ooh, Halliburton. I think we should have just went with something a little bit more stable and role players as opposed to going over the top with Harden.
I mean, it's
Tyrese.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fault you for thinking that right now, but
right.
Yeah.
I know Harden came out so strong.
He did.
So strong.
He did. I think he'll get there. I think he's struggling right now. He's struggling with his shot, and then he becomes like not aggressive because he's not making a shot. So, I think he'll figure it out. Man. He's been in the league for a long time.
I blame Tobias. I feel like he comes out here and he feels like it's his job to like carry Tobias, or Tobias got to get those 20 points. And literally, when he doesn't get when Tobias is not hitting it, we don't win. We only win when Tobias get over 18 points. Then everybody else is like, "Oh, we can score now." Why is Tobias even starting?
I mean, he's gone in the offseason. I pretty much know that for a fact, but.
All right, man.
Yeah,
well, I know you got some other guys to get to, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in, man.
I had this on my chest for a minute.
Thanks for giving me the insight, man. I appreciate it.
All right, peace.
Yep. Let me get you back up there. PWP Carter, what's up, man? PWP Carter, what's up in the Discord?
Hey, what's up, DJ?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm so glad I could talk to you, man. I've been a fan of your show for a long time.
Oh, thank you.
And
you still there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so listen, my biggest issue with this team, and it's always been my issue with the 76ers, is their lack of heart. Like, I don't understand why we get players that don't embody the spirit of Philadelphia. Like, Joel Embiid and Allen Iverson are the only players I've ever seen that embody that hustle spirit, and we get the rest of these guys who just don't have any heart.
Yeah, I think it's guys that you sign along the way that, didn't start playing here and don't necessarily, like Danny Green's one of those guys to me. He thinks he's better than he is, says things about the fans last season, has a stupid podcast that nobody cares about. Like, I don't know. There's definitely players that are just like not Philly. I agree with that.
Yes, man. And it saddens me because I live in North Carolina now, and I'm in the military, so like watching the Sixers is the closest thing the closest experience I can get to being back home in Philly. But man, I'm like seriously considering, like, if this Harden thing doesn't work out, if Joel Embiid ends up leaving in a couple years, I might just become a Hornets fan, man. Like, it's getting to that point with this team, man. It's stressful to watch. Like, it used to bring me so much joy.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like the come up and the process era and all that stuff was like anytime we got a young player, it was exciting and like, are we going to potentially be something? And now that you're at the point where you're like, okay, we got here, now we need to win. Now it's getting kind of more stressful.
Yeah.
Back then it was we lost by 25, but who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on Ben Simmons. I don't even want to speak this dude no more. But yeah, man, I just want to say thanks for taking my call and keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, man. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it.
No.
Yeah. Thanks for jumping in the Discord. Anybody that jumped into Discord, man. Anybody else want to jump in there? We got you. Sixers lose to the Toronto Raptors 93-88. We get out-hustled. We get out-rebounded by a bajillion. The Toronto Raptors had 20 offensive rebounds, and we had 5. They finished the game with 50 rebounds to our 35 rebounds. That's the story of the game. And also the story of the game is Doc Rivers not doing anything different. You know, you're getting smoked on the rebounds and the transition defense and the overall lack of athleticism. And you play a team like Toronto, who's super athletic, as you see right there, a putback dunk, and you just do the same thing. And what killed you was the end of the third quarter, into the fourth. Doc Rivers rolls out the death lineup. I don't know why he does it. I don't know why he puts James Harden out there with nobody. He puts James Harden out there with George Niang, Danny Green, Paul Reed, and DeAndre Jordan. So we get ran on with that lineup, and then his solution to that is to replace Paul Reed, the most athletic player on the floor, who got 2 rebounds in 2 minutes, with Tobias Harris, another slow, unathletic player that can't rebound. And leaves DeAndre Jordan out there, who's getting torched on defense the whole time he's in. You know, when we said all we need him to do is grab boards for 10 minutes, all we need him to do is play. Those 10 minutes are crucial because it really feels like all 10 of those minutes are coming in the end of the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. And also, for some reason, Tyrese Maxey is on the bench that entire time. Your spark plug, your lightning bolt of energy on the squad is on the bench that whole time. So, I don't get it. Seth Mraz in the Discord, man. What's up, Seth? Seth, you got your mic muted, man. There you go. What's up, Seth? Yo. Seth, you there, man? I don't know what's up with Seth in the Discord, man. Let me try one more time here. Yo, Seth. You in there? I don't know what's up with Seth in the Discord. Try again. We'll try again in a minute, Seth. Maybe jump out, jump back in. See if you can get on that way. We got Miami tomorrow night. So I guess the next place that we'll go here is obviously when you end up losing this game, you in hindsight you're like, why didn't we just rest Embiid and Harden? You know, and that's what people were saying. People have been saying it now for a while that we're gonna rest Embiid, we're gonna rest Harden on the first game of a back-to-back. It's the Raptors without Van Vliet. We should rest them. We should rest them. We don't rest them. We play them 35 plus minutes, and we lose anyway. JRSNZ in the comments says, bro, who else are we supposed to put out there? You want our starting 5 to play the whole 48 minutes? No, I would like the Philadelphia 76ers, Doc Rivers, and staff to put other players in the... Yes, Paul Reed, Charles Bassey, Isaiah Joe. There's guys in the G League, Miles Powell. There's guys that I'm not saying those guys are elite NBA players either, but when the guys that you're playing are giving you nothing, yes, you can do something else. You can try other players. You can try younger, more athletic players. Absolutely, yes, you can. Charles Bassey's 6'11", can rebound, can play defense, has an offensive skill package, is absolutely shredding the G League right now. He's averaging 5 blocks a game. 5 blocks. Put him in the game. What are we doing here? There's absolutely no way DeAndre Jordan is better than Charles Bassey. No way in hell. So, yeah, to answer your question, what I want them to do is try something else. What? Doc Rivers got fired from the Clippers. Terrence Mann was getting nothing. Wasn't even touching the floor. He got fired from the Clippers. Terrence Mann is now averaging 10 points per game off the bench. Because Tyronn Lue gave a young player a chance at playing in the game. That's why. What's going on? You're on the show. Oh, let me hold on. I got to hit you on the Bluetooth. There we go. What's going on? You're on the show.
What's good? How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, all right. So first off, I think it might be time to start the Glenn Rivers podcast, man. I'm about there mentally right now, dog. It's just inexcusable how we're always blowing leads. Like it's to the point where it's normal. Like we have a 10-point lead, we have a 15-point lead, and I'm like, oh, at some point we're going to give it up, probably in the second quarter, and it happens every single time. It's really annoying. It's really frustrating. We have too much talent. We have too much young talent to stagger, and Doc Rivers just refuses to do it. It's so annoying. Like, where do we even go as fans from here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm watching a game like we're up by 15 in the first quarter, and I'm like, oh, we're finally just gonna roll on a team. We're finally just gonna smack a team and beat them by 35. And no,
dude,
we blow the whole lead and lose the game.
Every single time, man. And we're not going to get too far into the playoffs if we keep playing like that against better teams, against elite teams with elite talent. That's not going to fly anymore, man. Like,
oh, I know.
I don't know what Doc is doing. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's the scary part about this. Like, people are saying, like this game doesn't matter or whatever. We're looking at what this team looks like against the Toronto Raptors without Van Vliet and Anunoby. What are we going to look like in the playoffs against teams that are playing harder and teams with more talent? So, I don't think it's an overreaction. I agree.
Right. It's just, I don't know, man. Like how many points? We scored 30 points in the second and fourth quarter combined. We scored as many points in the second and third as we did in the first. Like, that's inexcusable. I get that the players are out there, the players play, but it's up to the head coach to hold them accountable. It's up to the head coach to have them ready to play. And we looked like we just weren't ready to play after the first quarter. Like, there was no kind of adapting. There was no changing the scheme. We tried putting Paul Reed in there, and he yanked him after he grabbed rebounds, which is what we needed. The Raptors had 19 offensive boards or something like that? Like, how does that happen?
They had 20, yeah. They had 12 in the first half. They had 20 offensive rebounds.
That is just absolutely inexcusable, man. Like, I don't get it. Doc did this last year with Tyrese Maxey. He wouldn't play Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese saved us in the game in the playoffs against Atlanta, and then he didn't play him in Game 7. Like, this isn't even something that's new. Like, Doc needs to change it up, man. He's really frustrating me.
What do you think he can do differently?
Doc Rivers podcast. Honestly, just use some of the younger talent, like you were saying. Put Paul Reed in there more. Put Bassey in more. Put Isaiah Joe in there more. At least they'll give you some energy. You know what I mean? Like, rebounds are all about effort and energy. None of our guys right now, we look tired. We look like we're not out there ready to give energy. We look like we're giving no effort. Like, rebounds are all about effort. Put some of the younger guys in there that are hungry to play. You know what I mean?
Right. And somebody in the chat said we're just in the process of finding a bench lineup. We're not doing anything different. We're putting the same bench lineup out there every single game.
Every single game. And then, when we do put them in there, they don't produce. Like, Shake, I don't even think Shake took a shot in the time that he was playing today. Like, he can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Shake has been absolutely non-existent, and there was a time in history when Shake Milton would give you 15 off the bench.
And it was automatic. And now I don't know what happened. It's like the Monstars took his powers or something. I have no idea, man.
Yeah, he was in there for 9 minutes.
Also,
0 shot attempts, 0 rebounds, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 1 assist.
Yeah, see, that's crazy, man. And to my knowledge, this is the first time that Matisse scored in double digits and we lost the game this year.
Yeah.
That just goes to show, nobody else was putting up. Tobias, what did he have, 5 points today?
Tobias had 5 points in 27 minutes. Yep, he was 2 for 9, 0 for 4 from 3. Yeah.
That's just crazy, man. I just needed to get on here and vent. I appreciate you listening to me, DJ, and good luck with the rest of the show.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Glenn Rivers, I'm there.
All right, man, later. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to have to see what they look like tomorrow night against Miami, but No, it's not the end of the world. But when the thing is, when people are in the chat are saying things like, we just beat the Mavericks, and you guys are up here complaining, and we're looking at this supporting cast. It doesn't look like it's getting better. It doesn't look like this is the worst bench in the NBA. It has to be. Once again, we get sub 15 points from the entire bench. Matisse Thybulle +8, Tyrese Maxey +10, Joel Embiid +7, Tobias Harris +7, Harden a -1. Look at the bench. This is how ran on the bench got. Danny Green -9, George Niang -22, Paul Reed -6, DeAndre Jordan -10, Shake Milton -9. The bench got annihilated. That's what we're talking about here. What do we think is going to happen against better, even deeper teams in the playoffs when our bench is consistently getting mollywopped? And yeah, I mean, Tobias Harris is making $34 million and gives you 5 points in 27 minutes. You got to get him out of here. And he will. Like I said, Daryl Morey's not an idiot. He will get him up out of here this offseason, and he might get Doc Rivers up out of here also. Let's try Seth Mraz in Discord one more time. Seth, what's up? All right, I don't know what's going on with you, Seth. Take some more calls if anybody else wants to call in, man. 717-827-6203. Numbers on there if you want to vent. Like I'm sitting up here venting. It's just that Naples, Florida. What's going on down in Naples, Florida, man? Yo,
nothing much, man. It's just too hot down here.
Too hot? I'm ready for summer, man. I'm ready for summer, but I believe you. It probably gets too hot down there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We were all excited to get Paul Reed in tonight, and then as soon as we see him and DeAndre Jordan on the floor, we're like, "What is Glenn thinking, man?"
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously not what you don't play Paul Reed with DeAndre Jordan. Like that should be obvious, right?
But that was like playing Embiid and Drummond together.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what that's like.
And then, like, the thing is like we got Jordan there. At least Dwight and Drummond would go get a rebound. It looks like Jordan's just standing there, like, collecting his paycheck.
I'm starting to think that's exactly what he's doing, yeah. He's not even hardly moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm sure Bassey and Reed can do better than that. Yeah, you want someone a little taller to defend shots, but he ain't even doing that. So what's the point of having him there?
Exactly. I can't wait to go watch Doc Rivers' press conference because I really they started to pressure him last time, and now that I think they were, did anybody in the chat see the press conference? Like, I feel like the media is about to start saying, like, yo, why are we doing the same thing and getting smoked by we beat the Mavs, but our bench still got smoked in that game. Like, we're talking about, I shouldn't be responding to people that don't actually watch the game. When I see people in the chat talking about, like, well, we beat the Mavs, we're talking about how bad the bench is. That's what we're talking about because we're thinking about, can this team be good in the playoffs?
I mean, honestly, the only reason we beat the Mavs is because our bench actually, scored a little bit. That's really the only reason. Niang and Danny Green hit shots when they needed to.
Yeah, Niang had 12 and Danny Green had 7 or something. I forget, but
yeah, it's like other than that, like the bench doesn't really do anything. And we thought a lineup with Niang, Green, and Thybulle couldn't get any worse. Then he puts Niang, Green, Reed with Jordan.
That was an unbelievably bad third quarter lineup. I couldn't believe it. It was worse than the lineups I saw against the Cavs in the third quarter when they made a run on us. And the thing is, every single time he does that, we get ran on.
Mm-hmm.
And then he doesn't change it.
Like they'll just blitz Harden or let him drive, and then he'll kick it out, and then no one else can dribble, and they have to give it back to Harden.
Right. Why doesn't he stagger, Maxey in the second quarter or whatever and let Maxey run that end of third quarter into the fourth or Maxey and Shake together or you got to have multiple ball handlers out there.
I mean, one thing I kind of see that's kind of messed up is we have a tendency when Joel's shot isn't falling or he's trying to get a lot of foul calls. We have a tendency to keep trying to feed him in the post, but it's just like when Maxey seems like he has a hot hand, give Maxey the ball and kind of make Harden and Joel play off of Maxey.
Yeah, I agree. We also just.
I mean, that's one thing.
There was so much action in the first half and just no action in the second half. I just don't understand what Doc Rivers is even looking at.
I mean, it looks like they're just tired. Like they don't want to be there in the second half.
They got outworked by this young athletic roster of the Toronto Raptors. They got absolutely out-hustled every single play.
They always say hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah. Yeah, we need some athletes on this squad, man. Yo, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Have a good night.
All right, man. Later. Stay cool down there in Florida, man. I'm ready for warm weather up here, man. Jay the Bull, I see you in the Discord, my man. Jay, what's going on? Jay, you there? Jay, you there in the Discord, Jay? I don't know, man. Check your mic settings, maybe, something like that. I don't really know how Discord works, man. All I know is I click on your name and you talk, so. 360 people still in here, man. Please hit the thumbs up. That helps me out greatly. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. We're going to be here doing post-game lives every single game, all the way through the playoffs. So, you know, when the games really start to get heated up, when things really start to go down, you know what I mean? I'll be right here after every single game so you can call in and we can have conversations about how well it went or how bad it went, depending on what happens in the playoffs this year. So be sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're along for the ride and you don't miss any of the post-game lives, man. Let me try Jay the Bull one more time. Jay, what's up? I don't know what's going on there with Jay, man. Jay, I don't know, man. I'll hit you up, though. We'll talk about it. Try to get you on the Discord sometime in the post-game live. Seth Rowe, what's going on, man? You never signed up. What does that mean you never signed up? To the Discord? You got to sign up? I don't know. Nick Paper Chasen says, what do you think about Maxey off the bench? Listen, I've said that before, but either way, Doc's not staggering guys the right way. So it's like, if you run Maxey off the bench, I think Maxey thrives with Harden on the floor. You know, Harden taking the defensive pressure and Maxey really running around in space. So, you know, Tyrese Maxey off the bench, I don't think that's going to help him a whole lot. Playing with Danny Green, George Niang, DeAndre Jordan. It's just a bad bench, man. You look at all the DNPs here. Paul Millsap, obviously we don't want him to be playing anyway. Charles Bassey, coach's decision. Furkan Korkmaz, we don't want him playing either. Isaiah Joe, coach's decision. Paul Reed got 3 minutes. Only registered 1 rebound, but I swear I saw him get a second rebound. But I mean, look at DeAndre Jordan. 2 rebounds in 11 minutes. It's a bad bench. What I'm saying is, at what point do you say this bench is so bad I have to play somebody else? Jackson Watson in the chat. Any concerns with Harden? It's really early, but just wondering. It's hard to say, really, man. Like, the way that he looked those first 4 games was just beautiful. Tim, thank you for the kind words in the chat, man. The way that he looked in those first 4 games was just unbelievable. Everything was just clicking. I mean, he was just diming all over the place. No look here, no look there. But we weren't playing good teams, and a lot of people were trying to bring me back down to earth saying, listen, man, we played the Minnesota Timberwolves. We played the Knicks twice. Whoever else it was, the Chicago Bulls, I think, was one of them. And as soon as we started playing deep athletic teams that, you know, some of the best defenses in the East, some of the best defenses in the league, we started seeing different strategies for slowing James Harden down, like flying around screens and double teaming him real quick and things like that. And as soon as that started to happen, he seemed to be, pushed back onto his heels a little bit. So then he started shooting the ball really bad. He was 3 for 17 in one game and like 2 for 11 in the next one from 3. He was shooting 28% from 3 across 3 games at one point. So I don't know. Like, I don't want to jump off the cliff right now. It's the end of the season. These guys want to be healthy for the playoffs. I didn't expect James Harden to be the 50-point triple-double James Harden that he was in the first place. But this 5 for 12, 17 points, 0 for 4 from 3. In a close game against a less talented team as far as, superstar offensive talent, we need more from a James Harden. We need more. You got to have, where is that, 37 points James Harden? Where's that at? We can't. When the bench is this bad, we're going to lose to anybody when James Harden's dropping 17, Dom213 with the $20 super chat, MVP of the show. Dom says, just tried to call, but what's your opinion on the ownership, Morey allowing Doc to make the same mistake over and over? Like, at what point do you say, Doc, hey, man, what you're doing doesn't work? I think I talked about this with a caller a couple minutes ago. It's interesting because I think Daryl Morey is a smart basketball mind, and I think he sees exactly what we see. I don't think Daryl Morey is tied to Doc Rivers in any way, shape, or form. He has no obligations to Doc Rivers. He can get Doc Rivers the hell up out of here whenever he wants to. It might be this offseason. They might give him another chance next year. But, I mean, after seeing I didn't think Daryl Morey was a big fan of Ben Simmons from the jump. I think he knew that wasn't going to work when he came here, and his plan was to get him up out of here anyway. So after seeing Doc Rivers defend Ben Simmons and cry to the media and call everybody stupid that whole season, and then end up being wrong because Ben Simmons is a fraud like we all knew he was, and now this season Doc doing what he's doing with these just being a stubborn old grumpy old man and refusing to play anybody under the age of 40 to try to get some kind of production off the bench or to try to cut into the rebound differential somehow, some way. I think Daryl Morey's probably all right, this guy's got to get up out of here. But I think Daryl Morey might realistically know that this team this season doesn't have the roster to win a championship as far as the depth goes. So he's probably listen, we're going to let Doc see if he figures it out or whatever. If he doesn't, I'm going to make some big changes in the offseason. I really think that's what Daryl Morey's doing. The thing about a GM like Daryl Morey, any GM, when he came into this team, somebody said it a couple of days ago, that they think that he had a 3-year plan. He came into this team with Al Horford, Josh Richardson, all this garbage. This roster was atrocious. He came in here and said, I can fix this team, but I need 3 years to fix this roster. Turned Al Horford into Danny Green. Or at least cleared the Al Horford contract to have some money to spend outside of that. Turned Josh Richardson into Seth Curry, and then eventually turned Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and a free agent signing Andre Drummond into James Harden. So what I'm saying is, I don't think Daryl Morey's in a rush still. Daryl Morey's probably sitting at home right now, not really paying too much attention because he's I'm not done with this roster. They lost to the Raptors. Well, I'm not done with this roster, So he's probably paying attention here and there. If Doc Rivers is if Doc Rivers loses to a bunch of bad teams and we get bumped in the first round, then maybe I'll fire him. But either way, his plan, I think, is to complete his plan for the roster this upcoming offseason. So, I don't think a GM is really freaking out every single night, a Sunday night against the Raptors. I think he's just sitting back Well, if Doc Rivers stinks, we'll fire him. If he gets it together and does something different, we'll give him another shot. But I think that's kind of where I'm at with it. Seth, what's up, my man? A member for 3 months. Says, I don't know, East, but I just want to know why Dorkma's minutes were not given to a shooter like Mighty Joe Young. Who's getting those minutes? I don't understand. Seth, that's a good point. Because, like, you took Korkmaz out of the lineup because he was atrocious. But you didn't replace him with anybody that can dribble or shoot, right? That's such a good point, Seth. Seriously. You took Korkmaz out of the lineup because he was bad, but you didn't give his minutes to anybody else that can handle the basketball and shoot it. So yeah, we were screaming Isaiah Joe over Korkmaz because we were like knowing that backup, that third level, that third string-ish, if you will, ball handler is an important part of the team. And we were saying Korkmaz can't get it done, put somebody else in there. He took Korkmaz out. He didn't put anybody else in there. I guess Shake Milton for 9 minutes. But yeah, there's absolutely no ball handler coming off the bench that can create anything. And we thought Isaiah Joe was going to get a chance once Korkmaz was finally banished. But I guess he's not going to get a chance, so I don't know. Like I said, I'll take Miles Powell at this point, man. Shake's not giving you anything, and there's no other creator coming off the bench, so... But also, like Tyrese Maxey only having 37 minutes in this game I don't like that either. The kid's got to play more than that, man. Why is Tyrese Maxey getting a 10-minute break at the end of the third into the fourth quarter? I don't understand. I don't know, man. I don't know. Try Jay the Bull one more time in the Discord. Jay the Bull, what's up? Jay's still silent. Yeah, that's all I got, man. The Sixers lose to the Toronto Raptors without Van Vliet, without OG Anunoby, on the front of a back-to-back, and we play Miami tomorrow. Probably should have just rested Embiid and Harden in this game. But yeah, this was a bad loss, man. 88 points, and it's a bad loss because it proves what everybody's been saying about this team is that we can't compete with athletic teams. We have more offensive talent. We have more scoring talent than the Toronto Raptors, but they out-hustled the living hell out of us. They out-hustled the hell out of us. Out-rebounded us. Where's that? 56. Oh, my God. Out-rebounded us 56-40. They had 20 offensive rebounds to our 5. We got smoked by a team that hustled. Seth, thanks again for supporting the channel, my man. Great show. I'll try to get my end fixed next show. Yeah, hit me up on an Instagram DM or something. We'll try to figure out what's going on with the Discord. I don't know if it's just your mic's muted or what. Take one more Discord call, man. We got Sophie in the Discord. Sophie, what's up? Sophie, you there? Sophie in the Discord.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? What's up,
me?
Sophie? What's up?
Okay, so this is Gossip Girl. What's up?
What's up, Gossip Girl? How you doing?
I'm good. So I was having a talk with my man about the Sixers game because he's kind of down bad from it. And I told him to make him feel better that Tyrese Maxey is probably going to be an all-star within the next 3 years. And assuming Harden stays on as more of like a mentor role, and assuming Joel Embiid is roughly where he is, then you guys can get the chip. And assuming Tobias Harris is traded for a bench and Doc Rivers is gone, which is probably going to happen. But he said that Joel Embiid's probably not going to decline as quickly as other centers because he's a skilled big instead of like like relying off of his athleticism. I just want to know your take on that. Do you think Joel Embiid will decline after he's 30, like most centers, or do you think he'll have a slower decline because he relies off his skills and not his athleticism?
I think it all depends on if he stays healthy. I really look at somebody like DeMarcus Cousins when I think about something like that, because that's another guy that's very skilled and can shoot the ball, and he's still playing, but he's not playing at like a high level. If Joel Embiid stays healthy and doesn't have like those kind of injuries, Achilles and things like that, then yeah, I could see him being very good for a long time, because you're right, he does. He shoots a nice mid-range jump shot. Yeah, I think if he stays healthy, he can play well into like 35, 36, 37 probably.
Do you think that after the season, if Doc Rivers gets fired and Tobias Harris gets traded for a bench, you think y'all can get a chip?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think if it doesn't, if we don't get it together this year and it looks as bad as I think it's gonna look against really good playoff teams right now, and they make those changes in the offseason, yeah, I think we can, because I mean it depends who you get, but I think that's Daryl Morey's like final chance to put this together this offseason. If you put the right players around Embiid and Harden maybe gets then an entire offseason of work. I guess he's still coming off a hamstring thing that we got to think about sometimes, but maybe Harden's a little more explosive next season and we have a better supporting cast. We could definitely win a championship. Yeah, I agree. I think so.
All right. Thanks, DJ. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for calling in. Shout out to Gossip Girl, making her man feel better by telling him that Tyrese Maxey's going to be a superstar. I agree. He is. That's all I got, man. We'll see you guys next time. Sixers lose. Sixers lose. Sixers lose. We'll see what they look like tomorrow against Miami. And be sure to use promo code NOINTRO at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. What a loss. What a loss, man. What a loss. Peace.